Hey, it's Mike. Thanks for tuning back in. It's late on a Sunday. Sorry, I'm so late. I stayed up late last night. I was watching the NBA All-Star festivities, All-Star the dunk contest. Not as good as last year. Mac McClung still won. Somehow his first dunk didn't get a 50, even though it was unbelievable. Sabrina Ionescu tied the men other than Steph in points, even though she's shooting from an NBA line, NBA three-point line. Amazing. Yeah, it's fun. I went a long time without enjoying any of these All Star festivities, but they were fun this year. Let's jump right in. I'm gonna let me share my screen here, and we are going to talk a little bit about value. There was a lot of complaints on Twitter about 2024 Topps Series One, and I want to talk about this fairly at length, I think. And I have a lot to talk about today. I suspect this video will be longer than normal, so we'll see. So Topps Series One factory sealed hobby box from Fanatics, $90. You can probably get it a little bit cheaper on like eBay or whatever. I don't know. $90, which seems perfectly reasonable to me compared to other prices. Now, I wouldn't buy it because it says look for one autograph or relic card. And I wouldn't want the risk of getting a relic card. I'm not a relic card guy. Don't like them. Don't collect them. But $90 seems cheap compared to other hobby boxes to me anyway. Uh, but a lot of people on Twitter, here's one: how to waste money in 3 steps, and he has all these. These are jumbos, hobby jumbo boxes. Uh, look for one autograph and 2 relic cards. I agree. You're going to waste money when you're looking for relic cards, in my opinion. But why did you buy it? If you're saying how to waste money in 3 steps, you knew that. Why'd you buy it? And then JB, he posts a lot of good stuff about cards. Some had a lot of fun with my case of Series One. A case. You won't be grading pretty much any of these cards. All of them have wrecked corners, and just about every parallel has whitening on them. Just go with that expectation if you want to have a good time. And I think that's perfectly reasonable. Here's a corner. There's a corner. He's trying to sell this one. He was trying to sell it for like 30 initially, and then 20. I think he's just trying to give it away now. Uh, yeah, look at these corners. Yeah, not good. And there's a big argument to be had here that you can't expect your cards to be tens, nine at the best. I think eights and nines. And then if you get some tens, perfect. And then how much is the fun worth of opening the packs? How much? I don't know. I know hobby shop owners would have you believe it's worth a lot because they want you to open boxes and buy boxes. I don't know the answer to this. I would love to hear your thoughts in comments. Uh, so spent 1,000. This is Slab City. Spent $1,000 on a case of jumbos and got completely obliterated. Totally watered down junk. Shorted on hits. One jumbo only contained one relic, but more importantly, no auto. I suspect if that's the case, Topps is gonna do right by you. I don't know. He says he would have been thrilled with a two-figure card. Okay, all right. If you're trying to make money on Series 1, you're in for a disappointment. I wouldn't suggest the latter route either. Take it from someone who just ripped 8 cases of Series 1. Do not buy jumbos or hobby. Stick to blasters, megas, and fanatics boxes is what he's saying the latter route. Uh, yeah. Aside from a couple decent hits, they're so watered down this year that it's not worth your time or money. 1 Million Cubs says Series 1 is the best rip and flip product of the year as long as you know how to sell and are early to market. Easy money. Early to market is key. If you're a buyer, you should avoid buying early, buying singles early if you're a collector, because the values are almost all going to plunge eventually. Some singles, some base cards are selling for 10, 15, $20 when they're going to plunge down to a dollar at the most. But he's right. You can buy this early, rip it and flip it and probably make good money off of most of your boxes, especially the more you buy if you buy a case. I don't know. I'm not suggesting you go out and try this strategy because I wouldn't. And then here from Reddit is a tale of three strategies: ripping packs, buying into breaks, and buying singles. And they talk about how they got killed on a box of 2022 Bowman Draft, and then got killed on a box of Bowman Draft break, buying into a Bowman Draft break, and then didn't get killed on singles. Uh, this is an unbelievably small sample size. This is an N of one, as we say in the industry. Uh, I wouldn't listen to this either. Look, if you want to buy a box and open it, do it. As long as you know that there's a good chance you're not going to get value back. If you just do it for fun, great. If you're doing it with your kids, great. Now, I saw this on Reddit as well. What what is wrong with this? Kershaw, they put the W in upside down. Probably somebody who didn't know and didn't check the name is my guess. They put the W in upside down on this amazing card. It's such a shame. I wonder if you could send this back to Tops. Some people, yeah, oh yeah, Bowman 1951 said it's just inserted upside down. No, I wonder if he's suggesting that you remove it yourself. I would never dare to. I wonder if you could send it back to Tops and have them fix it for you. MTG 23 says mistakes happen. I thought that was pretty funny. All right, now Bowman 1951, very good Twitterer, by the way. I wasn't criticizing him in any way. He probably could do that. How he asks, how are the backwards hits inserted into packs with forward-facing base cards, and how do the machines know how to set these odds to make them completely randomized and fair? And blew my mind. Yeah, it's a it's a great question. I don't know. Do you know? Let me know in comments. Last week or a couple weeks ago, I did a video where somebody was showing cards with rounded corners, the superfractor. Here is superfractor, no rounded corners. We have no rounded corners, so we can eliminate that from our brain. I kind of liked it. If you saw the Super Bowl commercial, Darren Rovell went out and bought the outfit. So if you also did, probably time to return it. RBT Collection says he'd like to return the pants he ordered. They don't feel fun or cool anymore for some reason. Yeah. Oh, Darren. Again, Bowman 1951 taking up my entire video. A guy on Facebook just had a 2,100 card order from SGC of a lot of vintage and oddball stuff. I think he literally caused a small backup himself. 2,100 cards. It's $30,000 plus shipping. It's more than 30,000 unless he got some sort of bulk deal, which he probably did. Still, $25,000. Whew, it's got a lot of selling to do. All right, this was pretty big news. Anthony Richardson, this pack pulled Anthony Richardson card came back from PSA as do not holder. And it says Panini America is being investigated by PSA Card as to fake AR autos. And they say PSA is currently not grading any Anthony Richardson autos, even called Panini and blindsided them. And then Eric Whiteback went and said, he posted, breaking news. Panini is currently under investigation by PSA. PSA says, we are not currently conducting any form of an independent investigation of Panini. We are currently in contact with Panini on this matter. I actually did a deep dive. Here's my newsletter for this week. Free, completely free, weekly newsletter every Monday morning. PSA is rejecting Panini pack pulled autographs of Anthony Richardson. This is the theme. This is my core item in the. I've got a lot of stuff in here. So I've got a sneak preview of a video coming up. You should go and subscribe. Link is in the description. I'll also put it in the pinned comment. So go and do that. All right. So we might remember a while back, December, it feels like maybe January, we saw pictures of first card stamps on Ellie De La Cruz, and people were like, "This is not his first card. This is outrageous. How could they do this?" And somebody, I don't remember who, suggested, "Well, maybe it's the first card in the print run." And I thought that made a lot of sense. And turns out that person is right. For the first time, each player's base card printed in 2024 Series 1 will feature a stamped parallel. I don't know if this is cool or not. I think it's pretty popular on Twitter. People like it, so seems to be popular. It's a one of one. Obviously, it's unnumbered. It looks exactly like the other one, so it's not even a parallel, really. I guess it. I mean, Topps is calling it a parallel. It looks the same, but says first card. And so Topps Production BB says that there are 869,000 base cards. So you have a 1 in 869,146 chance of pulling that stamped one of one. I don't believe any have appeared publicly on any sort of social media yet. I haven't seen any. It's been a few days. I talk about this in my newsletter as well. I wonder if breakers, because breakers just skim through the base cards, if they're missing them, because Topps didn't announce this until a few days after it had been released, I think. So it's very possible that breakers and collectors are just missing them. And then United States Sports Card says, "How about a Topps update last card printed?" Uh, yeah, I don't know why not. Yeah, see, this guy Drew Williams is excited about it. There's a lot of gimmicks lately in the hobby. This one, however, I think is really cool. I think that's a fairly common opinion about this. I don't know that I would care about this, but I think that a lot of these gimmicks are kind of neat. I think they're good. If it gets people excited about cards, great. All right. Oh, so back to the issue with paying money into boxes here. Mario Alejandro, great tweeter, shares a couple of posts about where he says these people are defending the manufacturer. I don't see these posts as defending the manufacturer per se. I think they're basically just saying, stop complaining. Maybe they are defending. Maybe Topps is paying them to put these out there because they have big followings. I don't know. But yeah, I think that like buying a $3,500 box and only being worth two or $300, $200 to $300, 10% of what you pay for it, less than 10%. That seems like a problem to me. But somebody else says the problem is that manufacturers are now pricing the boxes knowing fully that it will be fractionalized by breakers and not consumed solely by one collector. It's true as well. But manufacturers, their job is to make money. They're going to price it as high as they possibly can. So Shenanigans says if we all stop paying those prices and quit buying into breaks, the prices would drop. You know how people say the singles are worth as much as someone is willing to pay? That's true for boxes as well. They charge that much because people will pay it. Exactly right, Shenanigans. And then Filthy Card says Ryan's post misses the point. You can choose not to buy something and still be critical of it. Exactly. I would love to buy a Topps Dynasty. I like that set and I'm willing to spend several $100s, knowing it's unlikely I'll return any investment. However, the floor is too low for me to risk it. Yeah, that's how I feel about blasters now too. I would love to buy some blasters, but for 30, $35, whatever there are, some of them are 25 depending on the sport and the set. It's the floor is too low. Let me know what you think about this stuff. I'm really curious what you guys think about this. My friend Ryan, not this Ryan, but a friend who is not, well, he's on Twitter, but he sent me this last night and he made an interesting point. So This is a Witt Gold Junior. Here's the gold card. It was in this CSG 10 slab, and the person this Ryan bought it from cracked it out before selling it. Now, Ryan said, "Well, this is an interesting selling strategy." And at first, I thought, I mean, if you don't think, if you think you can sell it raw better than you can in a CSG 10 slab, I get cracking it out. Ryan felt like it was shady of the original seller, and interesting that this seller was announcing that it came in a CSG 10. And he was like, why wouldn't you just let somebody decide to crack it after all? I think that the fact that it was a 10 before is a good selling point. If it were a 2 before, I would want to know. If it's a 10 before, and he's saying, well, he's basically saying that you can get it into a PSA 10. And I kind of disagree with him there, but I totally get what he's saying. Uh, so Ryan is saying that why didn't they resubmit it to PSA on their own? And he thinks that maybe in cracking it, they did some damage to the card. It's tough to tell here. It's also possible that you don't see the number. I assume, yeah, Topps Gold number to 2022. You can ask him for the back to see the back. I don't know. Somebody bought it from him, $70 shipped, so good for him. Yeah, it's just I think it's a really interesting topic. Okay, Cheap Fun Breaks has a really interesting thread. I'm going to share this with a caveat that I'd like to see a statistical analysis of this. So he says he opened 12 jumbo cases, and we've just started the final sort from tens to individual cards. 1, 2, 3, blah blah blah. Over 12 jumbo cases, there are slightly less than 28,800 cards. Most of these are base cards. Over 12 cases, you expect things to average out, but it won't ever be perfect. And then he shares a bell curve, also known as a standard deviation or normal deviation. And he says that I'm expecting 400 cards per spot. There will be some with 390 and some with 410. It always varies slightly. Expecting around 80 cards per spot plus a few parallels, I would anticipate almost every spot being in the 75 to 85 range. We are through the 40s now, and most spots have about 66 cards, and 15% of the spots have exactly twice that number. For example, card 7, Brendan Donovan, has 66 cards. Card 8, Brendan White, has 132 cards. That's pretty interesting to me. These are actual stacks of 10s from the 12 case break. I don't quite understand. This is like 1 through 10 and then 11 through 20. Is that what he's saying? And he's saying that these should look a lot more even than they are. This is 12 cases of jumbo. Perhaps hobby boxes would do the opposite without viewing the same amount of base from every SKU. I cannot say if some cards were printed 2x or if they were merely inserted into jumbo 2x. Yeah, it's interesting. I'm not saying that this is an issue yet. I think this is the most compelling one here, that Brendan Donovan has 66 and Brendan White has 132. Are they double printing some cards accidentally? It's certainly possible. I don't know. And I'm not saying they are because I don't think we have enough information yet. But I'll be keeping an eye on this. Now, back to the collectibles guru. First look, he says, the Shohei Ohtani and Babe Ruth 1/1 dual autograph of them pitching has officially surfaced and has been sent to grading. Previously, only a mock-up of this card had been seen. I feel like we saw this exact thing in a video. Was it just a mock-up? I did a video on it. Maybe it was just a mock-up and I didn't realize it. I don't know. All right, back to Darren Rovell. He this is frustrating for me. Uh, Nintendo action set with Duck Hunt, Super Mario Bros., and the gun cost $99.99 in 1989. A never opened, still sealed version will be auctioned off today now at Golden. Current top bid with buyer's premium $23,180. I can't find the link anywhere. It's frustrating when people don't include the link to the auction. I went to Golden's Twitter, no link that I could find. Here it is right here. So I went to Golden's website and couldn't find it. It's nowhere to be found. If you find it, let me know. I could very well be an idiot. I've been known to be one plenty. Let me know because I'm really interested in this. It's such a cool artifact. I did find this, which ended yesterday. Mario Bros. Sealed. This is a classic game. Sold for $29,000 with buyer's premium. Pretty neat. I thought that was really cool. And then Mario Alejandro again posted about the tops now. Victor Wembanyama has a retail price of $2,250 and a total print run of 189. The cards sold out immediately, netting Fanatics almost $500,000. Yeah, I'm not going to be pedantic about knitting. Um, now these cards are being flipped on eBay with prices as high as $4,000. So they're trying to almost double their money. Here's the card. It appears to be on card auto. There are only 189 of them. I wonder what the poor people are doing today. Yeah. Uh, Good for Topps Fanatics. I mean, if people are going to pay it, that's the market. I don't remember who sent this to me. I thought it was cool. Hit Parade. I'd never seen this before. This is a DA Card World thing. I wouldn't buy into this, to be clear. It's just neat to see that there's like a mystery box of classic Nintendo cartridges. I want the boxes. I don't care about the cartridge themselves. I mean, I want the cartridge in the box, and you can see all the different games you can possibly get. Mario 2, Castlevania, the Indiana Jones. There was the original Zelda was in here. Yeah, is that Legend of Zelda Gold cartridge, Contra, Mike Tyson's Punch Out, Castlevania, Zelda 2, terrible game. Yeah, that's what I've got for you guys. Make sure you subscribe to my newsletter in the description here. Yes, this is Jalen Brown. My youngest painted that for me. I thought it was really fun. I'm a big Jalen Brown fan. He D Brown would be rolling over in his grave after the Jalen Brown attempt to replicate D Brown's dunk last night. All right. Thanks very much for watching. Have a great Sunday.